In Luke 22:1, we find now the festival of unleavened bread, called the Passover, was approaching. So again, we see that frame where Passover and unleavened bread are seen as the same thing. So unleavened bread starts on the 14th, when the day is actually officially Passover, and Passover actually is seen to extend throughout the festival of unleavened bread, as the two are approached here as synonymous once again. Once again, we see here in chapter 22:2 that the chief priests and the teachers of the law were looking for some way to get rid of him. And then Satan entered Judas, called Iscariot, one of the 12. We're certainly after Tuesday when this is happening. Judas is then now watching for an opportunity to hand Jesus over. If he's watching for the opportunity, it's certainly going to take more than a day. Luke 22:7 says, "Then came the day of unleavened bread, on which the Passover lamb had to be sacrificed." Here again we see the conflation of the two. Passover lamb is sacrificed on the 14th of Nisan. Passover meal is at the evening of 14 Nisan, which is our Thursday. And unleavened bread technically should start on the Friday, but the two are conflated. On that day, Jesus sent Peter and John, saying, "Go and make preparations for us to eat the Passover." The Synoptics are clear that this is what he's doing. He's eating the Passover. Notice also that no earlier than Tuesday, we had the questioning by the Sadducees, and they're plotting to kill Jesus. And this says, "And then came the day." So we've gone at least one more day, so we're at least on Wednesday when Jesus is preparing the Passover, which he's going to eat with the disciples. Absolutely, the Tuesday capture and arrest and the Wednesday crucifixion are ruled out. We still potentially have a Wednesday capture and Thursday crucifixion, but we have to find Passover on Wednesday then. It's not like we can say this is occurring before the Passover. So when we find out that it's 2 days before Passover, we have a little bit of a question in our mind. What day is that exactly? And we can actually find out from John. The critics actually point to John as the gospel that disproves this chronology that I'm giving right now. But if you read John from prior to the triumphal entry, you find out he counts it down exactly as we would in the Synoptics. In John, we find Jesus in Bethany being anointed, and we're told that it is 6 days before the Passover. So we're going to be counting down from there 6 days. But it then says the next day he entered Jerusalem. So the anointing referred to by John is on Saturday. That's 6 days prior to the Passover. Sunday obviously then is 5 days before. On this accounting, Monday is 4 days before, Tuesday is 3 days before, and Wednesday then is 2 days before. So it's very likely all these references in Mark, Matthew, and Luke to 2 days before the Passover are occurring on our Wednesday. Thursday then is the day of the Passover, and the meal occurs at the 14th in the evening as the day turns.